In 2014, after finding my mom from being homeless and getting her off the streets, getting her into her own place, it was time for me. I always believed in God, but the first person I called was my grandfather, Reverend Charles Whitaker Jr. And the first person I called was Bubba. That's what we call him, my grandfather. Bubba, I said, God has his hands on me. And he said, keep on going, boy. Don't search religion, search spirituality. I was actually stuck like, what does that mean?
I keep telling myself, what do you want? What do you see?
And this is actually footage from 2014. So what I did is I started fasting and praying just myself. I walked mountains. I walked the ocean. I was out there by myself just trying to figure out, who am I? What is this, God? So I started asking for signs because I didn't believe like I believe now. And that's when I went to the ocean. I got signs. I got a staff out the water as I was walking. And I'm being very serious, y'all. I got a staff out the water. So I started believing. First person I took to the water was my mom, and then I started taking the homeless people to the water. Everybody that was around me, I was taking to the water. I was taking to the mountains. I was even laying hands on people. I was just a believer right then. So I asked God what's next. And what's next was I went to the same exact school my grandfather went to. I knew about God. I just didn't know about the Bible, the books of the Bible, the men and women of the Bible. And I almost felt conflicted because I was laying hands on people. I was taking people to the water, like baptizing them and stuff. So I was like, okay, hold on, stop. My grandfather was a powerful man of God. So I knew if I went to the same school he went to, I knew I was going to learn about the Bible. So I enrolled in Los Angeles Bible Training School in 2014, fall session. This is me in class. So I just started learning who is Matthew, who is Paul, what is Revelations, Old Testament. I went so deep in learning about the Bible, they was like, oh, you about to be a pastor. I was like, oh no, I'm not here to fill my granddaddy's shoes. All I want to do was learn about the Bible. So I ended up a biblical counselor, got my certificate and passed with flying colors. So to actually do the work, you have to actually enter the church and do a service in the church. So I ended up going to my home church and started teaching Sunday school. We had the kids teaching, me and my cousin, we was doing very well. And everybody was like, oh, he about to be a preacher, just like his granddaddy. So I felt something was wrong in my spirit. I started losing the voice of God, if that makes sense. And I started hearing what people were saying. So I was back at the water. I always dip myself in the water. And once I dip myself in the water, I feel refreshed. I start hearing God. And I heard God telling me that was not my calling. My calling was different. So being obedient, being submissive, and listening to God's word, I found myself. My calling was not in the church. My calling was on the streets.
It's been a beautiful day, a beautiful service today. I'm just excited.
So when you see me in the streets, just know I'm called by God, y'all. I found myself, Brother Romeo.